Just a great way to end the season, right? But with the Packers-Lions game coming to a close, we officially know who is in the playoffs and when all the games are. With that being said, here are my 2023 playoff predictions. Starting out in the AFC, we got the surprise Jaguars versus the San Diego Chargers. Jaguars, like the Packers, just got hot at the right time, but they were actually able to finish. They ended up winning the division, but the Chargers, they got Justin Herbert, who I believe is a borderline top 5 QB still. You got Keenan Allen, you got Mike Williams. You got two studs off the edge and Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa to get a ton of pressure. This is going to be Trevor Lawrence's first time in a playoff atmosphere. So even though they are the home team, I got to go with the Chargers here. Next up, we got the Bengals versus the Ravens. The Ravens should finally get Lamar Jackson back next week. But let's just remember, this man hasn't played in an NFL game in well over a month. I don't think he's even practiced. So there could be a lot of rust coming into it. And damn, right now the Bengals look real good. Joey B just has all sorts of swag and as many weapons as a QB could possibly need with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. Tyler Boyd's their third wide receiver on that team. I think this game's going to be real close. I think Lamar Jackson not playing football in over a month is going to cost them early on. Could take a little bit to get acclimated and get things going. So I'm going to go with the Bengals in this one. Bills Dolphins, we won't talk about this one too much. It doesn't even matter if Tua plays. Right now they're on their third string QB. They played the Jets today in a win and get in type situation with their third string QB. Even if they have Tua, I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the Bills offense. And even if they do, if we're comparing defenses, who's most likely to get a stop? Bills have a damn good defense. They played with a lot of energy today with the DeMar situation. I think that's going to carry on into the playoffs. Bills by 100. Now we move on to the NFC side of things, where we got the Buccaneers versus the Cowboys. So even though the Buccaneers finished under 500, they won the division and made it as a 4 seed. Tom Brady was freaking 8-9 this year. You just don't see that. Cowboys are a weird team too, because I believe when they play good, they're one of the best teams in the NFL. Like, they have stars all over the field. But even though they had a really good record, like today they were playing for the 1 seed. They had a chance at it. They still have to travel to Tampa Bay and play Tom Brady. Doesn't matter how well the season goes, it's Tom Brady in the playoffs. You can't bet against the guy, even in a bad season. And Dak, I think, leads the league in interceptions, even though he was hurt for a good chunk of the year. So I really do think, even though the Buccaneers may be the underdogs, you just can't bet it against Tom Brady. It's going to be Buccaneers. Vikings versus Giants. Don't let the record fool you. The Vikings are not a good football team. In any area, they are not good on the football field. Offense is very mid. Defense is really bad. Yet they probably have the easiest matchup in the first round. Giants ain't that great of a team. They're very mid, but we're able to sneak in because the rest of the NFC wasn't that good. And they are playing at home, but I think Saquon and Daniel Jones with his legs are going to be able to have a day versus this team. Just because I want to see chaos, I'm going to pick the Giants to win this one in an upset. And then 49ers versus Seahawks. I'm upset about the Packers, mainly because, like, I want Rodgers to leave, but he could actually, leave, and it'll be very bittersweet. But whoever played that game between Seattle, the Packers, and the Lions, it just happens to be Seattle, they're gonna get dicked on by the 49ers. 49ers have the best defense in the NFL. CMC, they'll probably have Debo, George Kittle, Brock Purdy has looked really good since coming in. Like, we don't gotta go much more than that. Playing in San Francisco too. San Francisco should win this one pretty easily. Now that we're done with the wild card round, we go to the divisional round where we got Bengals versus Bills. If I remember correctly, this game, the home field's gonna be decided on a coin flip, isn't it? I can't exactly remember how that's going to work out. Somebody let me know, because I think they have the same records. But it's a rematch of the game that happened 2 weeks ago that had to get canceled in the first quarter. But in that game, the Bengals and their limited time on the field, that offense looked real good. Bengals just look like a different unit right now, where the Bills, they're really good, but they still have a lot of mistakes. I believe they lead the league in interceptions in the red zone. Josh Allen has a good amount of interceptions, and for as good as he is, if the Bengals can cause him to make mistakes, they're gonna stay right in that game. So in my opinion, I think I'm gonna go with the Bengals on this one. The offense just looked too good versus the Bills last time, and it's looked good versus every single team they've played so far, so don't expect that to slow down. Chargers versus the Chiefs. Chiefs get the first round bye in the AFC, and I mean, there's a reason for that. They lose Tyreek Hill, and they bring in a bunch of decent receivers, but you can't just replace Tyreek Hill if they haven't missed a beat. Patrick Mahomes probably gonna win MVP, and Andy Reid is a mastermind. Like, some of the plays they are just running out there are from Madden. They're gonna be real tough to beat in the playoffs, so I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in this one. I just can't see the Chargers making the upset. Moving on to the NFC side of things, we got an NFC East matchup between the Giants at the Eagles. Eagles clinched the 1 seed. we saw Jalen Hurts come back. So unlike Lamar, he was at least able to get some of that rust off before the playoffs actually start. And I think that's going to be huge. The Eagles are so damn good at mixing in their run with their pass. They got 2 receivers over 1,000 yards with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And I believe their defense is solid, but the offense is the bread and butter on this team. It's just so hard to stop them. The Giants' run ends here. The Eagles should win this one pretty easily. We got some teams on the opposite side of the country here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams should be used to the warm weather, I think. And I mean, it's Tom Brady versus a 7th round draft pick. This just feels kind of scripted, doesn't it? Like a little bit of passing the torch over to Brock Purdy. Either way, this should be a crazy game, super fun to watch. But man, the 49ers have way too many weapons on their team. They can give it to Debo, they can give it to Kittle, they can give it to CMC in the run or the passing game. And you got Brandon Ayuk, who had a surprisingly quiet, really good season. We never got talked about because he's like the 4th option on that team. So I got the 49ers winning this one. And that brings us to the championship game. We got the Bengals versus the Chiefs in the AFC, a rematch of last year's championship game. Bengals were able to win this one, going to the Super Bowl, and you got 2 of the top young QBs in the game today with Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. But is there going to be a team that's going to be able to stop Patrick Mahomes? Because so far all year, nobody has been able to. He had like, what, 45 passing touchdowns? He almost set the record for most passing yards in a season. He's able to extend plays in the pocket. He can hit all his weapons. He just doesn't look at Kelsey. Bengals also have some weapons on their team, so I think it'll be close, but they are playing in Kansas City, one of the toughest places to play. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in this one, but I think it'll be close. NFC picture, we got 49ers versus the Eagles. This will be played at Philly. 49ers right now, though, they just look like they can't be stopped. Coming into the playoffs, they've won 10 in a row. I think they were 3-4 and then just busted out 10 straight wins. And this is with their starting QB going out for the season and then their backup QB going out for the season. They're on their 3rd string quarterback right now. It's impressive nonetheless. But as I mentioned, the Eagles, they got a really good run-pass balance. And if there's one team in the NFC that I think that can stop that, it's the 49ers. I believe it's going to be the only one. 49ers defense is legit. And if Brock Purdy can just keep this run going, a lot of pressure in this kind of atmosphere, a playoff atmosphere on the road for a 7th round rookie. But I don't care. I'm on the Brock Purdy hype train. I'm going to go with the 49ers. And now we got the Super Bowl matchup. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the 49ers. Just thinking about the Super Bowl matchup, I think this will be one of the most fun matchups we've seen in a very long time. Both teams have stars, some future Hall of Famers all over their roster. The best offense versus the best defense. And to be honest, I think this could go with a coin flip. I think it'll be decided by 1 possession. And in a 1 possession game, if you need your team to score or close it out, are you going to go with Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy? I'm going with Patty Mahomes on this one to win the Super Bowl. Get his 2nd Super Bowl in what, his age 27 season? He's on pace to become the best football player of all time, the rate he's going. But this is what my playoff predictions look like. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Feel like I did pretty good on this one. But let me know who you think's gonna win the Super Bowl. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.